beat myself up over things that I think are not affecting other people when in reality they are affecting other people maximum.
Well, you're right, but here's the thing. Here's the bigger point that I think you're missing. Let's assume for argument's sake that they weren't, which, like you said, they are affecting other people. But let's assume for argument's sake that you were right and they weren't affecting other people. You're still missing the big point, which is they're affecting you. Even in that answer, as you said, I want to change, you said, I want to change because of what it's doing to other people. I want you to want to change because of what it's doing to you, which in turn affects other people. But what I'm saying is that's secondary. First, you got to start to be concerned about the impact on you.
Now I'm getting it. Now, since you said that, I get it. Now, since you said that it is affecting me first.
Yes, that's a problem. If there was nobody else, if you lived on an island by yourself and it was affecting you, that would still be a problem. The way you've been looking at it, if I'm on an island by myself and it only affects me but it's not affecting anybody else, then life's fine. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's not how you're supposed to be living this life. You're supposed to be living this life with the expectation that you not be negatively or adversely affected either.
You're right. Absolutely, I agree.
That's why I was asking you, because I thought you got that. So now I'm asking you, is as contradictory as that is to everything else you've been seeing and thinking, how does that in fact impact you? How awesome is that to have this completely contradictory concept, this completely contradictory thought that you actually matter after all?
It affects me big because I feel like I don't matter, and I did feel that way until you started pointing out these things to me. I'm telling me every day that I'm not good enough. And I feel like if I say that, well, I am good enough, then that's being selfish and self-centered. And by you saying that that's wrong, it is wrong because it's not selfish. If I'm not good with me, then how could somebody else be good with me?
Exactly.
Am I getting it?
You are getting it. The world doesn't revolve around you, but it certainly all starts with you. And if you're not great as the starting point, then everything else from that point forward, if the foundation isn't good, everything else is going to be problematic.
So if saying that changing my foundation about myself, number one.
Well, what I'm just saying there is you are the foundation for everybody else. Everybody else, in terms of for the sake of this discussion, everybody else here, your son, your husband, your grandchildren, your friends, everybody emanates from you based on your relationships with you, based on how you feel and how you project yourself and all of that. Everything emanates from you. If the starting point is flawed, if the starting point has a problem, then everything that builds on that foundation is going to not be as strong as it otherwise would.
So it's okay to, without being arrogant or...
It's not arrogant. You got to take care of the foundation. It's not selfish for you to need to get you to a good position. And to be quite honest, I'll share something with you. And I may even, because it's probably high time I did this, so I may even, this that I'm about to say, I may even cut off and make it a separate comment from the testimonial itself of me just putting this message out there. But what we're talking about here is the fact that it is crucial, so much of what society teaches us, and especially for the females, the conditioning for females is that it's all about looking out for others, taking care of the family, and that it is selfish for you to put yourself first. It is selfish for you not to think about the family first. And that leaves people, especially survivors, moms in particular, feeling pretty stuck because you get hit by grief. Loss is the biggest issue, is the biggest problem, is the biggest hurt that we ever feel. And there's all these other mixed emotions. There's a lot of times there's guilt mixed in there, along with the sorrow, along with the perspective that other people are judging you and all of that stuff. And in the midst of this all, you're dealing with all these feelings that you don't know how to sort out. You don't know how to deal with, and all this time, right, you've been convincing yourself that you're super mom, you're Wonder Woman, right? It's a lot of times it's the mom that ends up being the center of the universe in the home. So the mom, from the time that the kids are little, the mom is more often than not solving all the problems. The mom is there. The mom is taking care. So when, especially in a situation where a mom loses their child, then there's oftentimes there's some guilt associated with that, because the mom, as the self-determined, superhero and all responsible protector, convinces herself that she obviously wasn't up to par. She didn't do some things that she should have been able to do, because it's her responsibility to protect her child, to protect the people around her. So there's usually guilt associated with that I end up helping clients out and helping them address that and get beyond that. And then there's the guilt that if there are children, surviving children, or even surviving close family members, that there's guilt there, because why can't I pick myself out of this, pull myself out of this, and go back to being the strong problem solver that I have always been? What is wrong with me? What am I doing? Why can't I get out of this? This is all wrong. But at the same time that you're dealing with all of that, right, then the other problem that you have is that the condition, and this is what we've been talking about here primarily in this conversation, you have the conditional views, or the conditioning, rather, that you've received since you've been a child has been, you don't put yourself first. You put others first. You put family first. You take care of family. And then once you became a mom, it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids, and then later the grandkids, and I have to put them first, and I have to think about them. And so the fact that you are caught up in your own emotions and not able to figure out how to get beyond this darkness and this pain and this sorrow and this guilt and the sense of being overwhelmed, and that you're not doing the things that you know or that you feel deep down inside that you should be able to somehow figure out and start back doing again. But you feel guilty that you're putting yourself ahead of your surviving children and any other family members and any grandchildren, that may be in the picture, and even that you're somehow feeling guilty many times because that person that I lost, I'm letting them down because they expect me to be strong and they expect me to be Wonder Woman, and I'm just, and all of this just has, and typically has you feeling so just off, down, beaten, overwhelmed, and just the opposite of everything that you've ever told yourself you were. And at the same time, last but not least, society has told you that there's something wrong with you if you can't figure out your issues and move on your own. What is wrong with you that you need to get help? So now people they don't trust going out getting help, or what does that mean if I go and get help, and if I get help, am I putting myself first, and that's like making me seem real self-centered and only serving myself, and this is all just a huge trap, because the truth is oftentimes until you start to consider yourself first, until you're willing to step out and get that help that you need and get that perspective to start seeing things in a different way, then you never get to the point that you truly begin to get beyond these issues and begin to see things differently. And if you don't get to that point, if you don't start to focus on you and start to get to a point where you can see things differently, the truth is that you can't, if you're not right for you, then no matter how you try, you can't be right for the others around you. You can't be right for the other people around you. And so you have to look inward and get over that messaging that you're being self-centered, and you have to get you straight, because everybody else, you're the foundation. Everybody else emanates out from you, and the only path you have to becoming confident and becoming strong and becoming that problem solver again is to be able to take a step back and focus on you. And if you need help, get the help you need to get through those emotions, to let those emotions have their day and be able to get some new perspective to start looking at things in a different way so you can get on a different track and start to get your life back again. So tell me this. Does all that resonate with you, what I just said?